room, next to my bathroom, in my basement. This is My Worst Holiday. It's a podcast about your worst wedding, funeral, bachelor party, bachelorette party, or whatever story's funny after the fact. We want to hear it. And today, we have two special guests. Yes, two. We have Logan and Jesse Schober. Did you hear that, Jesse? Did you hear how I said it?
He is hiding. He is yelling at our children right now.
Oh, okay.
Super professional.
I fucked up his name 3 times, so... Logan, say hello.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. Jesse's logging on now.
Okay, no problem. So how you doing? You look great. You're the first time on for you, and you look fantastic.
Oh, thank you. This is my end of the day after the youths of America have worn me out because I'm a public school teacher.
Oh,
So end of the day is not always my best.
That sounds like it would be awesome and fun.
You know what? I teach middle school, and it's something.
I got another school teacher. He's a substitute teacher. His name's Barry Norman, and he's fantastic. He's this Jewish guy from New York, and he's written.
Sorry, Jesse's coming on.
I think there's some interference.
Back up. Feedback.
Oh.
You go over there.
You go over there. We have to be in separate rooms of the house.
Yeah. It works better if you're right beside each other with both of them turned all the way up. That's the way it's
Yeah. Go away. Go across the street.
Oh man.
Well, I've done interviews with you before in my truck, so
yeah. We keep it classy.
we're real professional around here. We're cut rate comedians. We're exactly what you can afford for your show.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. You're right where you need to be. Exactly.
Yeah. Luckily, it's decent out.
Okay, so yeah, I've got another. He's a writer and he's a teacher too. He's a substitute teacher. His name's Barry Norman. You can find his books on Amazon. He's fantastic.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes. So I'm actually an author too. So
yeah, I see that. Author. There you go. Yeah. Nice. So tell us all about you. Tell us about you. Tell us about your what you're writing, where you're going to do stand up, everything.
So my husband and I started doing stand up 2 years ago, or he's been doing it for a while. I started 2 years ago. And it was going to be, I'd watched him do it for years. And as we talked about before we got started recording, I have ADHD. So I can do it. I'll figure it out. I'm at least going to try to figure it out. Right. And what started as like a bucket list, I'm going to try this one time, 2 years later, and I'm still doing it. Because once you get that stand up bug, once
you get like people laughing, it's like golfing. It's like the first time you hit a long ball when you golf. Like the first time you hear people laughing at you, or the first time you hit the long. Now you're a golfer. Now you're a comedian. That's it.
Yeah, that's kind of how it happened. I did my first show was just an open mic we did with one of our friends, and he was kind enough to give me some stage time. And then right after that, someone who ran another show was like, "Hey, I have this other show. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "You understand I'm not a professional, right? Like that was my first time getting up there. I don't know what I'm doing."
Hey, 2 things we got in common. Neither of us are professionals. There you go.
But it's been really fun. And then I've been writing my whole life, but I've never showed anyone because why would I? And then January of last year, I got this idea for a book, and I just hyper fixated on it. I couldn't get it out of my head. So I have a couple girls who are like book clubs, that's just online friends. And I was like, "Hey, I want to write this book. Will you guys read it if I write it?" And they're like, "Absolutely, yes, give it to us." Because they're used to reading like Wattpad novels, and they don't really care if it's good or not as long as it's got a good storyline. So they read it as I wrote it, and they were like, "No, this is good. You're gonna publish it." And I was like, "Are you sure? Because I don't I don't think I should do that. This is a little embarrassing. But yeah, I published it, and within a month of being out, it had made it on the Amazon bestseller list, and I cried.
Oh
Like,
my God.
big tears.
Everything I've ever written, I've lost.
You got to put it in the cloud. Everything goes in the cloud.
We didn't. Back then, the clouds we had was Cumulus. So, like...
Does anyone really know how to access the cloud?
It's in the... I don't even use the cloud. It's in Google Docs. Like, it's...
No one knows how to access the cloud.
It's on the Google Drive.
Hello. I remember when the cloud first came out, and the Onion did a thing on it. Like, it was Hewlett Packard trying to do their cloud, and it had like... They showed like a guy with like steam squirting at the computer. You know, like our cloud is faster than everybody else's. Like they didn't understand what the cloud was.
Nobody knows what the cloud is. The cloud is a beautiful thing, though. Although
I think it's the beast. It's the beast.
The saving of things, like I have a couple MySpace posts that I would like to not exist anymore from high school. I would like that to not.
No, mine was actually written out on a Smith Corona typewriter, and then I came home drunk one night, and I'm like reading it, and I'm like, it's fucking garbage, and I just fucking threw it away. Like space and a half. Fucking, I'm like, and then like 2 days, it was like a week later or something like that. I'm like, I woke up, I was like, like.
No, what did I do?
What am I gonna do?
I have my first novel I ever wrote was a werewolf novel, and I reread it because I was like, I'm gonna publish this. I've published a book, and then I was like, no, I'm not. That's not making it to the surface. That's gonna stay in the cloud where it belongs.
Yeah. Oh, I had worked on this for like, I don't know, like a year or something like that. I just came home hammered one time, and then the other one was a thing called Small Things, and it was just, you know, like smells and stuff that take you back to when you was a kid, and the story that you'll have from whatever smell it was and stuff like that. And that one was the computer's fault. I'll say, what was it? What was the first music? Napster. And I got a virus in my computer. Gone.
For Napster,
I didn't do Napster.
Yeah.
But I am pretty sure it's my fault that the family computer crashed because of LimeWire. Because I needed
there was a guy at work that had my work computer, and he downloaded LimeWire onto that. And then when it would go into like its stay screen or whatever, like roaches would come out and start eating the screen. Like it was like, I'm like, oh, look, because I just hired the guy, so it was like, it's not like you can look at it and go, it was you. Like,
no. Yeah. Spotify has probably unknowingly saved so many family computers and devices.
Jesus Christ. It was so bad. It was so bad. So bad. So, well, back then I didn't know shit about computers at all. Like this was early 2000s, somewhere around there. And I'm like, what's a virus? You know, like.
My brother would just take our family computer apart and put new, like, those little circuit boards. He put new things in it, and like he would just take a bunch of different ones apart and do new ones. Jesse, what are you doing over there? Are you just waiting for us to notice that you've changed the background 16 times? Because it is really distracting.
Right over here. If you just.
He had the brick wall up earlier, like the plain brick wall, and I was like, are you pretending you're going in and out of platform 9 3/4? Is that what you were doing?
I just think it's funny that I'm in the background of me.
You know, you're so handsome. We need to see you twice. I think that's what it is, Jesse. It's now. Are you wrestling back there now? Is that what you're?
Yeah. Now I'm getting ready for my match.
No, we went and saw a WWE house show, and if you have not done that, go immediately.
You going to what now?
A WWE house show.
I think I talked about it last time.
Oh no!
It was the coolest thing I've ever done. By far the best event. Out of all the sporting events, that's the one that was my favorite.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah.
Like how old school are you in wrestling?
So I grew up with like HBK and John Cena, and Chris Jericho was actually my favorite wrestler when I was a kid.
Right. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
ADHD. Oh, look at your beautiful clowns. So pretty.
There's a kid. We're on a live show. What do you want?
I need a card box.
You need a what?
Card box.
A card box?
No, you're not getting a card box.
Why not?
Go inside and do what you were supposed to be doing.
Eating.
I never do that. I never go off. When I had partners, then I would. This is the first time I've ever left the scene since I've been doing it on my own. But kicking it old school, this is the first time that I met the honky tonk man.
She doesn't know who that is.
I cannot. No, that's a little bit before me.
Yep, he was. He dressed up like Elvis, and he came up. He's like a perfect.
He was the Intercontinental champ.
The world's greatest Intercontinental champ. And if you want to go way, way fucking back, this is when I was a kid. That's the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant.
She doesn't know it. She
I'm
was like 2004, 2005.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Well, Jimmy Valiant's like 75, 1975, 1980.
Yeah, you're a lot older than us, man.
Like, oh yeah, by a lot.
Yeah,
I'm an old man.
I was Chris Jericho, Trish Stratus. I love Trish Stratus. Lita, like I wanted to be. That's who I wanted to be when I grew up.
Wanted to be Lita?
I wanted to be Lita.
I remember the night that Medusa left the WWF and went to WCW like the next night with the WWF Championship and threw it in the garbage can.
I think it was 96. Yeah. 96 or 97.
Yeah, right around there.
I had about
a little later than that. I think
98,
99. Because I just moved up here.
Well,
so
by
it's
2000,
like right around
they were gone.
So. Were they gone by 2000?
Yeah, into 2000.
WCW?
2000. I think it was like April of 2001 was like their last. April or March 2001 was the last Nitro, and it was in Panama City.
And then David Arquette retired. Was the last champion, I think, wasn't he?
No, Booker T was, but he was champion towards the end there, and so was Russo.
Okay, I thought he ended because that would have been fucking beautiful if David Arquette would have been the last WCW champion.
Get in the house. We talked about this last time. So because I was in a wheelchair for 6 months last year, I watched every Royal Rumble that has ever been. And if there's a WWE documentary, I've seen it. I've watched it all. So I literally went back and watched every Royal Rumble match. And then I've watched a lot of wrestling over the last year.
We've been rewatching some of the Royal Rumbles as a family. And it's like being caught up in like knowing what's going on now. It's kind of weird to watch them, but also kind of fun to see how far some of these wrestlers have come in their careers since then.
Can you hear how loud these damn birds are?
I can hear the birds.
I can. It's lovely and it's relaxing, Jesse. It's you know what? It's like you're in one of those apiaries or whatever.
I feel like I'm in the Hunger Games with these damn things.
Yeah, they're definitely warning you that trouble is coming. Which is weird because last night I had a dream that we were running from a tornado. Like we were in a house and a tornado came. But it wasn't our house.
I have tornado nightmares all the time.
We have been in a house when a tornado hit. We've been in a house when a hurricane hit. A lot of them.
Well, I was in our house when a really bad tornado came through just like a street over from us a couple years ago. And like we had always kind of talked about like what they sound like and things like that. I knew the minute it hit because it was silent and then the house started shaking. So I just grabbed the kids and like threw them in the bathtub and we stayed there the rest of the night. Well, and then we didn't know what was going on, so the power went out, and we were just kind of there, and nobody online like knew what was going on. And then eventually, a couple hours later, we got images of our downtown, and our entire downtown had been destroyed.
No, that's a little dramatic.
Yeah.
Well,
But
so like,
yes, our downtown
It
was
was
hit by
only a
It was
few
really bad.
fatalities. Come on.
This
No
isn't quite
fatalities.
Twister, okay?
Um,
But we were home during Hurricane Michael, which is one of the strongest hurricanes on record in 2018. And you know, what I remember the most of that problem is I was right in the middle of a fantasy draft, and it really messed it up because it was a slow draft. Guys didn't know where I went. They were all pissed off.
Michael, fuck up my
when we
fantasy
finally
draft.
got, like, 2 days later, when we got cell phone service
damn
back,
it.
they're like,
Why
"What's
do
going
bad
on,
things happen to good
Jesse?"
people, Jesse?
No, but this happens all the time. So then, like, when I had my accident, it was right in the middle of a baseball draft, and they're like, "Where the fuck is
the
Jesse?"
same league. So this is the same league. This is so. I don't know if he talked to this. Jesse was in a terrible car accident.
Yeah, I did the whole
He
thing.
is in the ICU.
I know.
And like,
I was in the hospital. I was in a wheelchair. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah,
no, he's in the ICU during the slow draft. And he's like, "You got to tell them what's going on." I'm like, "Dude, you're bleeding internally. I don't know." So I take his phone.
You're bleeding internally. Maybe you oughta.
So I take his phone and I message the group because his phone's just blowing up, and we're just waiting. And I was like, "Hey guys, this is Jesse's wife. Like, just a heads up, he was in a really bad car accident. I have his phone. He is like doped up trying to explain to me how to do this trade. So bear with me because I'm trying to do what he's telling me to do." So he was walking me through giving his takeaway.
For me, Logan. Don't let them draft for me.
No.
And then, like, I finally get it done and like traded off his pick for another round or a player or something like that. And they're like, "Best wife ever." My wife would never.
Hold on, but here, listen. This is what these assholes did.
Hey, I'm right here.
Sounds like your dog's pissed off about it too.
This is what these assholes did. I'm a rebuilding team, and they let her draft 40-year-old Adam Wainwright with one of my picks. Those dicks, they totally knew she had no clue who that was. So they let a rebuilding team draft a 40-year-old pitcher, and I was, like she said, I'm like, kind of dying. I was so mad. I was more mad about that than like relearning how to walk. I was like so pissed off because these assholes. I'm on my deathbed. They're like, "Yeah, watch this fucker."
I'm not sure.
No, it was bad.
I got like the Kevin Costner from Bull Durham.
Well, and so then we evacuated for Hurricane Helene a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey, you guys, we have to evacuate for Hurricane. Anybody want to do a draft real quick, just for tradition?"
The only time I've ever called my wife. The only time I've ever called my wife a name, ever. We were across from each other drafting a football draft, and I'm a big Colts fan. And the next one on the board after she picked was Andrew Luck. And I'm sitting across from her. She's sitting on the sofa. I'm sitting at the table, and I see Andrew Luck go away. I see her pick him, and I go, "You whore!" And she's like, "You never called me a name in your life." And I'm like, "I know."
Logan does actually a pretty good bit about how we are allowed to call each other bitch.
We are allowed to call each other bitch. No. Don't you steal my joke. I get so mad at him because I've written some of his jokes, and he'll be like, "I don't remember." Shit. No, he's like, "I don't remember you writing it." I'm like, "I definitely did. I can tell you the date this happened. I can tell you what I was making for dinner while we were on the phone." I'm
not mad at it as long as you give credit. Like, after you do the joke, you give credit.
That's my joke on stage a couple weeks ago when we're doing our show in Cairo, and it's fine because I'm not performing, but I'm like, "You asshole, I'm about to come after you." I'm like, "That's my joke."
I helped you write most of your jokes.
From my set. He did a joke from my set.
Oh,
and I'm like,
God.
If I got up on stage and was like, "Pterodactyl starts with a P."
You've done my jokes in a joke contest.
I wrote that joke. Anyways. The joke is that we're allowed.
God damn it, I've been pronouncing it wrong all along.
No,
I guess it's not pneumonia either.
It's also not psychiatrist.
it's not
It's
psychiatrist. Which is the only part of that joke that you wrote.
Bullshit.
Actually, it was already done by the Animaniacs.
We'll have this conversation later.
Okay.
Don't need a record for this.
I just got distracted by a rubber band.
You stole the joke from Dot.
Anyways.
No, I really didn't know how pterodactyl was spelled.
No, we're allowed to call each other bitch, and it's fine. Because
that's fine.
The word
I
as
agree.
bitch is a term of endearment in our house. And so when people hear us, they're kind of like, and I'm like, no. Bitch is fine. It is whatever
bitch,
adjective that you put in front of bitch that's the problem. For example, if I call him
bitch, that's I can see that.
I call him a little bitch after he refuses to change the air filter because he's scared of spiders, then it's a problem.
He's scared of spiders. Yeah, we'll revisit that again too.
Can't add little in front of it, then it's a problem.
But hold on. The problem is,
a great episode.
We live in the South, okay? It's infested with spiders and snakes and gators and everything else that's trying to kill you. It's like living in Australia, okay? So, yeah, there's always something lurking that's going to get me in this house.
Which reminds me, if you'll take, I can see where you're sitting on the your truck. If you will look by the entrance of the front of our house, there's a giant spider web.
Okay.
I'm at a wrestling show, Logan. You don't know where I am.
You don't even know where his truck is.
Yeah, it's parked right next to the
Wherever
ramp.
it is, it has birds. So
I can
we have a bunch of people watching, several of the people from Mosaic TV. By the way, we're on Mosaic TV. If you have a Roku device, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick, if you have an Apple TV, or damn it.
I'm now on a mountaintop.
I'll get this in a second. And Amazon TV. You can see us on Mosaic TV. Download Mosaic TV, baby. So that's they're all watching. Everybody, I just got my Facebook up, so now I can see who's watching. If you want to comment, go ahead and comment, and I'll get it back in. But my tablet was dead, so
they're like, "Yeah, your budget sucks. How do you have this guy 2 weeks in a row?"
Because I'm here.
Well,
and I'm awesome.
You told me your beautiful wife was a comedian. That's how it went. So,
yeah, use that term loosely. Smartass is a more applicable description.
Comedian-ish.
Author.
So, comedian adjacent. Yeah.
So hey Taryn, hey Tori, hey Tanner, hey Jane, how are y'all? So
you say y'all
so those are people.
Indiana?
Illinois.
Whatever.
Y'all was universal.
It kind of stayed with me. I spent like an entire summer down in Georgia years and years and years ago, and I just stuck with it because nobody else said it up here, so I thought it was funny. And then people will go, "Oh, are you from the South?" I'm like, "Fuck no! Why would you say that?" Like just
no. I would want to have fun.
Yeah. So
yeah.
What's up, y'all? Oh, you're Southern? Not at all.
Well, you can't tell right now because I'm at a wrestling ring, but it's very gray here now, and it reminds me of being back in Wisconsin, where it's just gray all the time.
It is a little gray out
all the time. There's lots of sunlight. It was very sunny today. It was cold as fuck. There's a freeze warning out for tonight. But
yeah, it was 86 here yesterday.
Jesus Christ, I hate you.
It was 86, and then it was a high of 80 today.
But when we have a storm, I still have a shed. So I mean,
no. Listen here, I've been in Wisconsin when tornadoes hit, big tornadoes, because they get way bigger up there than they do here. We get little ones; they get big ones out there.
Well, when I was down in Georgia, they're like, there's a bad storm, and they're like, hey, there's a tornado. We're gonna go watch it. Me and my buddy Brad went, "Where's the fucking basement?" And they're like, we don't have basements.
We don't have basements.
The water level's too high. You can't have a basement here. Yeah.
Take a fucking hole. And they're grabbing a 12-pack. They're gonna go watch the tornado.
We do have hurricane parties here. That's true.
We do have hurricane parties.
We had something come through. It's called a derecho, which I didn't make that word up.
Sounds made up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not made up. I knew he was going to hit me with that. No, but it's like hurricane force winds. Yeah, it's like, so that's when I gave her the old derecho.
Sounds related to fellatio.
She couldn't walk right for a week.
Okay,
anyway,
you made it worse. That was
okay.
bad.
You're welcome.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
No points. No points.
Brick wall.
No.
Brick wall. So no, but it's hurricane force winds in Illinois. Actually, it came across Iowa and it destroyed a shit ton of crops. A lot of farmers lost everything. It's just like a solid wall of fury. And the difference between like Illinois trees and like southern coast trees is your trees know what the fuck's going on and they're made to bend. And oak doesn't. It shatters.
No. True.
And it just explodes. And I mean, it looked like a fucking bomb went off in my town here. Like there's like one street I could barely like there's one wire hanging and I barely made it under that to get to my house. And it was just like oak trees everywhere. Like it exploded. It was crazy.
Oh man.
Hey,
but ours only lasted like 15 minutes where you guys' last like a day.
You know? Yeah,
days sometimes.
Days sometimes is bad.
Did you want her to actually tell a story on this podcast about storytelling, or are we just going to bullshit a little longer?
A story would be good. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
We've talked about nothing for like 26 minutes.
Our new producer, Jesse Schober, everybody.
You're welcome.
Do you want the murder story? Or
absolutely, I want the murder story.
I think I remember it was a couple years ago.
I haven't heard any of your stories, so I'm very interested in any story you have.
So I think it was a couple years ago when he was on your podcast, and I had just come in at the end.
Get away from me!
I'm walking towards him. I gotta walk away. When we first moved into our house, we had been in the house like a month, and he was gone on military orders when we moved in. So he came for like one weekend and helped us move in, and then he had to leave and go back to the base. So I get a letter in the mail from like a prison, and I'm like, what is this? I unfortunately know people in prison, so I was like, crap, now I got to open it. I have Alabama family.
That's not necessarily true. Isn't there usually like a name up in the corner that says?
It did not. It just said from the prison. So I opened the letter, and it is this super creepy letter of someone stating, like, this guy that was like, I lived in your house a couple years ago. While I was living in your house, I hid jewelry, money, and a gun. And if you would like the location of this, send me money on my commissary and like list of things on my commissary, or I will murder your whole family.
Fuck! What?
Yes. And so this is the letter I get. I'm freaking out, thinking that there's like an illegal murder weapon gun hidden somewhere in my new house that I bought that's supposed to be in this safe little town. So I call our friend Sam, who is, we also call him Rock and Roll Jesus because he looks like Rock and Roll Jesus, and he's just a good time. Right. But he's also a very Southern boy. So he comes up to our house, clears the house, guns, everything, clears the whole house, gets up in the attic, searches everything, searches anywhere where something, and he's like, no, this is false. We have to call the cops and report it. And because there's no like non-emergency line in Cairo, I have to call 911, and I feel like an idiot. So they send a cop out to the house, and he collects it, and he's like, oh, no, this is weird. You should have called us. Like, this is very strange. We'll call the prison and we'll report it, and we'll make sure that this inmate can like no longer contact you. And I was like, he has my address. He's gonna know.
He knows where I live.
He knows where I live. What are you talking about? So we dig into it a little deeper.
To this address.
It gets worse. So we start digging on this guy a little bit deeper. He was on America's Most Wanted for 5 years because he murdered his parents and buried them.
Hey, you know somebody famous. Look at you.
Yeah, look at that.
You got a letter from a TV star.
I do. He was. So then I find the episode of America's Most Wanted he was on. I have it all screenshotted somewhere in the cloud. I don't know where it's at now because the
No one
cops
can access the cloud.
The cops took the letter and things, but it was one of the weirdest things. And when I was talking to the prison, they said, "Oh, this is a scam that some of the inmates are running. That when new houses sell, they just get the listing. They have access to computers." I'm like, maybe you don't give someone who brutally murdered his parents and buried them in his backyard access to a computer. Maybe we don't do that.
Let's not do that. Tracy Lynn says I would move.
I want to. Well, and so
it's like,
we're looking for houses right now. Unrelated.
Like, it'd be great if you did move and you got another letter. Hey.
Oh my God, I'd quit. They restricted his mail access, and I'm like, and now he's gonna know I'm the one that reported him. Awesome.
Yeah, and has your address.
Yep.
He's in there for like 3 life sentences.
3. He does. He has 3 consecutive life sentences.
Yeah, he ain't getting out. Yeah, he said he murdered his parents. No, I did.
And then ran for 5 years.
I used to hang out. Well, the place I worked, the guy was there, and he ended up being a murderer. Like, I used to hang out with this guy and have conversations with this guy, and then he ended up whacking his wife, and I'm like, Jesus, like, and he was a little odd. I'll give him that, you know, but I didn't think he was murdery odd, you know, like and me being obnoxious. I'm just glad that I didn't say something too obnoxious.
Oh gosh, teaching, I kind of worry about that sometimes, especially in the climate. Like, if I say something to a kid, am I like in danger now? Just the environment that we live in. So I'm just, by rule of thumb, I'm always nice to everybody.
That's always the thing about humor. It's kind of a double-edged sword. So.
Yeah. There are some kids that I know. I'm not gonna make a joke with that kid. Nope, not in this climate. Yeah, that is like a real fear of mine though. Teaching, I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm gonna be in my little happy, bubbly, I'm nice to everybody zone.
What was the movie? Not Happy Gilmore. The one before that one.
Billy Madison.
Where he went back to school. Adam Sandler went back to school. What the hell was the name of that? Billy Madison.
Yeah, Billy Madison.
Exactly. You know, and every time, like, I think back of people I have just absolutely decimated, you know, and given a complex to, just being obnoxious and, you know, drunk or whatever. And I picture like Happy Gilmore giving the guy a call. He's like, "Yeah, I said some kind of mean things to you. You know, I hope you didn't take it personally." And the guy's like, "No, don't worry about it. I'll water under the bridge." And he scratches his name off the list of people he's going to kill and starts putting on lipstick.
Well, so your new producer over there is the reason that one of our friends didn't wear shorts in middle school. You want to tell people about that, Jesse?
Not particularly.
Yeah, Jesse. You want to tell us about that?
So
to be fair, we were in the 7th grade. Okay.
To be fair.
And I didn't know how to flirt. Okay. And so I made fun of things.
You flirting with Valerie now? Is that what's happening?
Back then? Yeah.
Have that conversation?
Oh my God.
Glad you used her full real name.
Yeah, way to go, Logan. Jesus.
That's awesome. Like, hey, Valerie, I hope you're watching.
To be fair, she's now the godmother to our children.
Yeah, it's my best friend's wife. Like, they're my 2 best friends.
Yeah, his 2 best friends from middle school married each other. But yes, he made fun of her so bad that she would not wear shorts and did not until she was an adult.
Okay.
Which made gym class very awkward for her.
To be fair, listen, hold on.
It's not like I was like
here. It wasn't like real body shaming or anything like that. I wasn't making fun of her weight or anything like that. It's because when she got cold. It doesn't sound like it,
because she sounds like she was perfectly normal after.
No, when she got cold, her veins were very noticeable. So red, white, and blue. She was very white, and her red and blue veins were so. One.
He said the Pledge of Allegiance to her legs.
I was in 7th grade. Yeah, I was
That's
a dick.
the man I married.
Y'all red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I was. So what's funny about that is like she's telling this story to another friend of ours, and he was like, "Wait, was Jesse the asshole?" And they're like, "Yes, Jesse was the asshole in school." And he's like, "No way." I was like, "Well, I'm not that way now, but yeah, I was the asshole then."
I can confirm when we first started dating, and this should have been a red flag about both of us.
Hold on.
Thing that I liked about him was that he was an asshole, and he was never nice to me, and I was never nice to him, and that like in a
That's
very
not entirely true.
That is true. So I don't think that we said a single nice thing to each other the first night we met.
That's probably true.
Is that right?
Absolutely. And then I still gave him my phone number.
It's true.
My wife came into my house with a friend. My wife, she came into the house with a friend, and she's wearing this Green Bay Packer jersey.
Nice.
And I'm like, yeah, like what's with the Green Bay fucking Packer jersey? You know, like, and she's thinking, she's like, who's this obnoxious asshole? You know, like talking to her friend, and then 20 years later.
I think your best relationships are built on that, because if you're mean to each other at first, like, what are you gonna say to actually hurt my feelings in the relationship?
Yeah, she can't say I didn't know. You know, she came in knowing. Like the first thing I ever said to her is like, "What's with the fucking Green Bay shirt?" You know. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I definitely knew that he was an asshole. Like,
okay, hold on. Was okay. I've gotten a lot better as I've gotten older.
No, you've gotten a lot more comfortable as you've gotten older.
No, I don't know. I'm just smarter about it when I say it.
This is the man who told a girl that her aura was beige.
I did do that. To be fair, she asked to be roasted.
To be fair, there's a lot of to be fairs in here.
She asked for it. She wanted me and a comedian partner. She did. She said, "You guys never roast me, and you roast all the mail servers." And so we're like, "You don't want this," and so she did.
Okay.
And her name is Heaven.
This is on you. This is
on
you then.
So her name is Heaven. And I was like, okay, you want this? First, I told her aura was beige. And second, I told her, I was like, okay, Heaven, what grade were your parents in when they had you? And she was like, junior. They were 10. They were in 11th grade.
Yeah.
But that's not near as bad as what I did to the mail servers. We had a mail server who was bothering me, and I told him he looked like the mayor of a sundown town. And right.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Right?
Is that the guy that got with the girl and they're like getting together now? Like they're getting a house together now?
No, different guy.
You look like the mayor of a sundown town. That's fan-fucking-tastic.
I made a lot of my chops early on in comedy was doing roast battles. Like,
yes.
One of my my favorite roast jokes I ever did was I told this guy he looked like failed conversion therapy. I thought that was a great joke. It didn't go over that well here in the South. I think it hit a little close to home.
Well, Jesse, you might be my hero. I'm not sure. You're pretty solid there. That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right?
Beige. Yeah.
It's the subtle ones that work, right? You just can't be like, "Oh, you're ugly." Yeah. You got to come up with.
If you really want to light somebody up, nothing pisses off an older man like a grown ass man than calling him Scooter.
Oh, that's good.
Love doing that. Aren't you cute,
Logan,
Scooter?
Get your child. Your son is out here, and your daughter.
Go tell them to get back in the house. I don't know what to tell you.
Near the wrestling ring.
Are they just running around feral? Is that what they're doing? God damn it!
Yes.
There's fire ants out there. Get your ass in the house.
There's kids in near the wrestling ring. Get them inside.
Well, there has to be one of us to monitor them at all times because they are pretty feral. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Do you
they're
have any other
creepy.
stories you want to tell Logan before we go? 'Cause
I
my
do have a
battery's gonna die.
story
Yeah.
because this is another story that he has stolen that has happened to me and used it in his stand-up. So when
Just like,
we
let's see, it says we had a server at a hotel named Echo and asked her if her parents used acid. Okay.
yes, they had to
Yes.
have. That's
What was
yes.
what was the bat from Fern Gully? That's what I would have called her.
No. Okay.
I always do the thing like to a guy. I go, yeah, like his wife was a virgin when they met. I still remember the night he dented her cherry. Wonderful man, just a wonderful man.
That's a good one.
You just do gross comedy.
That's a good
you're
one,
like
though.
Andrew
I
Dice
do.
Clay.
I do, like dented, dimpled.
That would have killed in the '80s circuit.
It would have.
Yeah. I do a whole SpongeBob porn bit too, but it's
All right. Well, my
Anyways,
battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna leave now.
I didn't know that was a thing. Your battery's always dying, Jesse.
I forgot about the interview. Brain injury. Sue me, man.
Like, I like the way you changed it to producer on your moniker there.
You haven't noticed, but I've been changing it this whole show.
No, that's the first time I've seen it
I
change.
have not noticed your name change. I've noticed the background changes.
Oh yeah, when
Yeah,
you
the
go back and
background
watch,
changes,
you'll
that's
see.
right.
I changed it
I'll
to
have to
murder.
rewatch it.
I changed it to murderly odd for a little bit.
God damn it.
No.
So, hey, before you go, though, you got to tell the spider story.
The spider story.
Yeah, the
Oh,
bathroom
yeah.
spider.
The bathroom spider.
Which one? There's been
The one. Okay.
I like that this is an ongoing theme.
Yes, it's
You
it's
don't
a thing.
understand. I almost wrecked my car because he screamed next to me going down the interstate. Because
That was a
on
big
the-
ass spider.
It was that big.
It was in the car.
No,
You've
okay,
been
no.
to war, okay? You've been to
I'm
war. You don't get to
driving.
scream at a fucking spider.
And I get a napkin and I kill it because he has screamed with our children in the car, and I think that like something's coming at us. I don't know
Get
what's
it,
happening.
honey. Get it.
So I kill it, and then I crumple the napkin up, and then I toss it into the floorboard.
Bitch,
and
you lie.
He starts freaking out again, and he's like,
You threw it
a
at
spider
me.
on me.
You
I
threw
said,
it at
I
me.
threw a napkin. I did not throw it
No,
at you. I threw a napkin.
you threw
to
a
the
spider
floorboard.
corpse.
I did not throw a spider corpse at you. I threw a napkin into the floorboard of the car.
Lies.
We almost died that day.
Oh, we didn't. Well, the spider, yes.
We almost died that day.
We did. I almost wrecked because of you.
It's 40 foot tall and fangs. You didn't see it. You don't know.
The Pinters.
Okay, so Logan, let me tell the spider story real quick so I can leave. Okay, so the story goes. I use it as a bit, but it is real. It really did happen. I was going to take a shower, and I turned the water on, and I turned around to look at the door, and a spider had crawled under the door, and it was staring at me, blocking the door. And I didn't know what to do, so I decided to get in the shower, thinking that the spider would not follow me into the shower.
The spiders normally don't.
Right. This spider,
unless it's you,
stood on business. It did not give a fuck. And it started jumping towards the shower. And so I did scream a little bit, which prompted Logan to come in the bathroom and grab one of my shoes and start hitting towards the spider. But this spider was like the kind that bit Peter Parker. So it was quick.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And she couldn't kill it.
Worst case scenario, you're a superhero, Jesse.
Well, that wasn't really what I was thinking about at that time. My thought was, if I get out of the shower, I'm away from the spider. Not because I guess I'd never seen a cartoon. And so I jumped out of the shower onto our tile floor and just ran in place for a couple seconds. And so
like Fred Flintstone style.
my big ass is just running naked in our bathroom. My wife's trying to hit the thing with the shoe. And then I don't know how that story ends because I left and did not go back. So that's his bathroom now, is the way that works.
And we're house shopping.
That's where he lives. This is his domain now.
This is why, okay? This is why I did this, okay? I don't kill spiders because about 10 years ago I saw a YouTube video of somebody stepping on a spider and thousands of other spiders came out of it. And I like
wolf spiders. I got those around here. These great big wolf spiders.
We
and
do
all
too.
the babies stay on the back, and like they just all fucking go running off. Like when you, like it's super cool.
No.
And I've been telling this story for years. I've been doing this joke for years. And a few weeks ago, the girl we were talking about, one of our best friends, Valerie, texted me and she goes, "Hey, I got bad news for you. You're never going to want to stay at our house again because I stepped on a spider and its babies came out." And we'll never see him again.
There.
We'll never see him again.
We have not been to their house again.
Nope.
We have to change the will. She's no longer the godmother to our children. Our children
no longer
can't
the
be
godmother. It's all over.
I promise I won't sleep there. Okay, because it's getting darker.
Military guy.
Because it's getting darker, I look like Thanos snapped his fingers and I'm just fading away.
You kind of do. You kind of look like you're doing you're doing the blip. You're there you go.
Funny, Tony.
I don't like this game.
Jesse.
Jesse. No.
Okay, I'm leaving now. Bye.
Bye.
I buried him.
Yes, I see that.
Yep. I also like how he dipped out just as I was about to reveal how he stole another one of my jokes. He's like, I'm not going to stay for this story. So this is the last story I tell, and then I got to go get the kids in bed. So
no problem. I got to wrap it up anyway.
We lived in an apartment in Tallahassee. That was not in the best of neighborhoods. And so when our daughter was little, like it was an older apartment because that's what we could afford. She'd like talk to the wall sometimes. And it was creepy. And it was super creepy. And so we got it like a video baby monitor so we could watch her even though the room was next to ours. Well, she starts crying one night and I can't see her in the baby monitor like anywhere. So I go into her room and she is sitting, she's probably 2. She is sitting on her floor with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Like at her face. Like I'm like,
oh, doing the whole, I'm the leopard.
She's 2. Yeah. And so this is the same time the Paranormal Activity movies had been out. And so I'm like, I'm so freaked out. And so I had grabbed a gun because I heard her scream. And I was like, I run in the room and I sit down and I'm next to her. And Jesse won't come in the room. He's standing at the door, like peeking in, like trying to figure out. So if we're dead, we're just dead. It's fine. And then like I get her calmed down.
Do you hold him when he cries? Yes. Logan, do you hold him when he cries? I just want to know. Is it you tell him it's going to be okay? That you're going to take care of it?
We know I'm the man of this relationship. That's fine. I do the home repairs. It's good. So she toddles off and goes out of her room. And then she slow turns and looks at me and says, "Bye-bye, Mama," and walks away. And I'm like, mm-mm. Meanwhile, I'm in the middle of this like little girl's bedroom with like the creepy dolls and anything anyways. And I'm like, no.
We're getting a new kid. This one's got to go. This is over with.
I cannot do this. And we legitimately started house shopping like the next week. Like it wasn't a joke. Like we were convinced that apartment was haunted. Yeah, so we moved. No ghost problems here.
I can see why. Bye-bye, Mama.
It was so creepy. So yeah, so we moved out here, and this house had no ghost problems, but it did have, slight murder vibes. And that was it.
Let's see. She said, that's why I'm deathly afraid of spiders. My brothers told me that when you killed one, 7 more came after you.
That's karma I don't want. That's karma I don't want. I'm not afraid of spiders. I am scared of frogs. I don't do frogs. I think it's the jumping. And you can't smush a frog without a penis. I hate frogs.
Ribbit. ribbit, you know, like I don't know what I'm doing to the frog when I'm doing that, but it's like
I'm
ribbit,
fine.
ribbit.
Cartoon frogs, Kermit
The
and me.
frog might like it though. He might be gay. He's like ribbit, ribbit.
Do you know there's an African frog that is literally the size of a small throw pillow?
Yes.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a thing.
I just wondered how big the fly is that it's eating.
Yeah,
if the frog's this big,
that frog is
how
too
big's
big.
the fucking fly? I'd be more afraid of the fly than I would the frog.
You're the fly at that point. I don't. Nope.
Like maybe like a bat. Maybe like it eats bats. You know,
they do eat bats. I've seen a video because I have a teacher next to me. He's a jerk. I mean, it's like having an older brother at work with me every single day. So he will send me videos of creepy frogs that he finds. Just to be mean.
So I've seen a lot of frogs. What's a creepy frog? Like
all of them. But like he sent me a video of one eating a mouse.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
He sent me that video, and then we have smart boards in our classrooms. He left a picture of one with like the big eyes on my smart board and locked it so I couldn't get it off. It's okay. He doesn't like Taylor Swift at all. So I went in his room and put Taylor Swift in the Chiefs game.
Who doesn't like Taylor Swift?
He hates it when she's on the football. He's a very like guys guy, so he hates it when they show her on football games. So I found a picture of her at a Chiefs game, set it as his background, and changed his password.
Nice.
That
a girl, Logan. That's how it's done.
And I told him, I was like, I have older brothers, so I don't know where the line is. So if you do something to me, I'm not going to know if I took it too far getting you back. And he keeps threatening to put a live frog in my classroom.
Oh, Jesus.
I
put a live turtle in a girl's car one time. That was kind of funny.
We have a pet turtle.
Anyway, we used to have these iPads at work. And so when this guy, like the iPads used to have that magnetic thing, and it just kind of flapped over. It kind of looked like your mouse pad, and it just like flipped over. Okay. So anyway, what I did when he wasn't looking is I looked up what was the three guys off that fucking vampire werewolf movie
Damon
with Kristen Stewart, Twilight.
The Twilight guys.
Yeah, but I had all three of the guys Taylor like with no shirt on, you know, like
Taylor Lautner
like
and
no shirt on, you know, like looking like this. So I cut the picture out. Yeah, so I cut the picture out and I glued it to the inside of his iPad so that when he flipped it over in front of a customer, like that was the picture that showed up.
That's perfect.
So everybody's like looking at this guy, he's like a 56-year-old black man, and he's like this. He's like, so anyway, he doesn't see it. He's just doing numbers and shit on the iPad, and they're just looking at these three guys.
Oh my god! And he has no clue.
Because I'm a dick.
He
had no clue. Not at first. Not at first.
See, every time. That's a harmless prank. That's fun. I'm all for harmless pranks. I don't like pranks that cause someone to be afraid.
Right. That or if you see somebody writing an email and they have to leave for a minute, and that happened in retail quite a bit. Like a customer to come in, they'd be in the middle of an email, they get up and leave, and I'd just write like the next line. I just write, "I like grasshoppers," period, and then I just walk away. So like.
That's fun. That's all in good fun.
I try. Yeah. So, all right, we're coming up on an hour. Logan, you've got the floor again. Tell everybody about your book. Tell them about you, where they can find you, everything about you, and you got the floor.
So, I wrote a non-smutty, because I do have an 11-year-old that I don't want to traumatize the way I was traumatized when I found my mom's romance novels as a kid. romance novel. It's about a young girl that gets a scholarship to a private school, and she gets paired up with like her mentor, who's kind of like the bad boy that has to be her mentor because he got in trouble the last school year. It's very Gilmore Girls vibes if you've ever watched that show.
What do you
Very
mean? I
like
like that show.
sweet.
I think I like that show. I don't know. Do you like that show?
I love Gilmore Girls so much.
Why
So
do they talk so fucking fast? Like in like a rhythmic.
and that's how
I'm
we
gonna go on a
talk in
date.
our
You're going on a date.
house.
You're gonna go on a date with me. I'm gonna go on a date. Bill's the guy. Don't worry about Bill. Bill, he's not gonna hang around much, but I'm gonna go on a
Yeah,
date.
just your own conversations. That's how me and my daughter talk to each other. And that's how me and my mom talk to each other because we grew up. And that's how Jesse and I talk to each other often. So the book is like very Gilmore Girls vibes. It's available on Amazon. It's called The Briarwood Chronicles Mentor Me. It just got a new cover that just
All right.
released, which is really cool. But if you want the original cover, I only have about 10 of them left now. Those are on my TikTok shop, and I'll sell those until they're gone. And then after that, the only way to get it is to get the new cover on Amazon or at Barnes & Noble. If you go to Barnes & Noble online, they have it too. But yeah, it's called The Briarwood Chronicles Mentor Me. It's the first in what's supposed to be a
So
series.
what again?
The
You said
Briarwood
that. You said that very quickly.
See, it's the Gilmore Girls. The Briarwood Chronicles Mentor Me is the first.
Briarwood Chronicles. There you go.
It can be read as a standalone. Again, just very like cute, sweet. If you like romance novels, it's very tropey. So all of the things that I love in a romance novel, I put in a book, and just made it like happy and giggly and fun. It's a fun read. It can be read as a standalone. The next books in the series will be written from different characters' point of view. So like the first two main characters, kind of like their friend group. So it will all be a different. And then I'm working on another book right now that I'll be giving more information out about later. I'm just waiting to finish it before I put it out there and tell people that it's out there.
Fantastic. That reminded me, you said it's a standalone book. One year at Christmas, my dad got me book 2 of a Stephen King series.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, he knew I like to read. So
you have to I'm an avid reader, and I typically read like fantasy and romance, but I'll read other things. And the worst thing for me is when I read something and I find out it's a series and I didn't know that going into it, and then I am so mad if the next book doesn't come out for like a year. Like I will walk around angry and T-Rex stomp through my house for a solid week after that.
One of my favorite books is Jurassic Park. It was fantastic. Oh, Sean Pratton's watching. Jesse Schreiber's watching. Hey, Jesse. Anyway.
He came out back from the wrestling event. Did you have fun?
Where did that really handsome guy go? Oh, God. Yeah. Full of himself. Just full of himself. Look at him. Amazing. So, anyway, all right. So, we're going to wrap this one up. Logan, thank you so much for coming on. Jesse, it's always a pleasure having you on. Thank you guys so much. It'll probably be like another year before I have you back on again because, we doubled up. And thank you so much. And as always, at My Worst Holiday, you can find us at myworstholiday.com. You can give us money. Give us money. If you like somebody, give them some fucking money. My Worst Holiday at patreon.com. Logan, where can they find your book?
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com, The Briarwood Chronicles, and from a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this has been My Worst Holiday. Good night, everybody. Hang out for a second. Ending stream. There it goes.